Near Mint Condition, the home of collected editions.
That cover's so awesome.
This is Mr. Chris Claremont, a legend.
Melanie goes,
Tired.
Welcome to Near Mint Condition, home of the collected edition. My name is Josh Greathouse, creator of Bang the Ballad of the Tiger. And I'm here for one reason and one reason only. Omar got desperate. Are we talking about Bang the Ballad of the Tiger today? Not today. I do love this book. I highly recommend it, Kung Fu Fantasy. But today I'm coming to you as a fan, and I have no relationship with this publisher. Don't know this. Unfortunately, this creator passed. Never got the chance to meet him. But today I want to talk about Poison Elves or I, Lucifer by Drew Hayes. I forget how I found out about this series, but I had the trade paperback forever on my Amazon wish list. And it was the kind of thing, it's like, sitting there. And then last year I found a video talking about Poison Elves. While I'm drawing, I'm like, okay, cool, this would be a great, thing to work to. And the series captivated me. I'm like, ooh, I want to get more of this. So I was like, I'll wait till next month to get the paperback. And all of a sudden, next month went from it being $10 to $50. So when this popped up, I was like, and I spent a good couple days doing research, trying to find that paperback for a decent price. And it's like, this ended up being $80, $15 for shipping. And it's like, everything about this, I'm going to take a chance on this. It is an oversized hardcover, and it's by a small creative company. So I was like, it's a little more than it's a little pricey, but like I said, I want to take a chance, and I'm glad I did. So I'm going to do a quick little overview talking about the series, stuff I've noticed. Yeah, this is hardbound, round spine as you were. Nice, clean. Yeah, and this white and black look, I'm not gonna lie, it's definitely sticks off the shelves because it's a little bigger. And I'll probably, the smart thing to do is throw some B-roll in right now, Josh, of this, showing off via the shelf various sizes. But I think this is Sirius's first big hardcover like this. I could be wrong. I do know they do Dawn and Scary Godmother, so kind of hoping with the success of this, maybe we can see more from that company. So let's dive into Poison Elves. So like I said, y'all, this is a Kickstarter exclusive right now. I talked to the publisher a little bit. They said they have no plans on bringing this out to any other markets besides Kickstarter, so kind of hoping they do, but since this is Kickstarter, let me show you the extras that came with it. The first thing was this was wrapped in this wrapping paper that takes the emblems, the logos, and they have this nice little sticker in the, let's see if I can get it in a minute. There it is. Around this box, which, does it add a lot? No. Is it a nice presentational touch that I appreciate? Yep. So that was the first thing. Then next thing we got, like every Kickstarter, have a pen. They also included, and this is what I love about small companies / creator owned, you get this nice human touch. Have my name, order, what number I was, then showing what I got, and also actually signed by the publisher. So nice little touch. Top of that, got this. I don't know if this is a bookmark. I'm not quite sure because I thought it was a sticker at first, but it's a little thicker cut. Then sticker like every Kickstarter. Got a postcard talking about book 2, and the way they told me, they said that expect after 3 to 5 months, that's when they'll start the next campaign. So we just got this in March, so it should be summer, maybe early fall, so we'll see. Thick kind of print. Whoop. This is a little thicker art print that has a panel of it, based off of an Escher. Then we get the cover cards, which I got mixed feelings on. I'm glad we got these. They're cool to look at, but I really wish we could have got these inside this book here. So this includes one of each of these covers. And what's interesting too is, because like I said, this is a dude by himself. This is very indie, and it's interesting how some of these marks, it's clearly markers, some colored pencils. So, you can even see right there, you can see that ink, kind of drying out. And like each one, he tries a little bit something different. I think I'm doing the same thing with Bang here. I think these are based off the Dungeons and Dragon, like this cutout here. But like I said, it's fun seeing each one of these. This was one of my favorite issues, the Doppelganger. And then, you know, just, it's fun. Like I said, I'm repeating myself, sorry. But it's interesting to see, like, the tool, because this is before Photoshop, before digital. This was a fantastic issue. So it's like, okay, what can we do with these tools? Especially, man, that cover. Whew. And what's interesting, too, because this Malay Graphics is his own company, but it's not not every cover has the standard cutout. Like, you know, okay, this is how you do the window dressing. This is the other thing I found interesting when I was stacking these. There's a clear, like, separation. So it's like, okay, when he was doing these first compared to these, you know, he learned and grew as he did these. So it's fun to experience that. The only thing, like I said, I wish these were in here. This book is all black and white, and I kind of get why they wanted to do that, but I don't know. I'm glad we got these in LA, but I wish we could have got these a little bit in here. So anyway, let's dive into the main thing, which is the book. Hey y'all, so let's get into the actual book here. We got I Lucifer, Poison Elves by Drew Hayes. This actually is one of the panels from the cover, which we'll probably see in here. We open up this black end paper, and I like this little touch. This is a nice clean look, and we actually have it mimicking over, let's see if I can get, right over here on the other side. Like I said, this is a nice, just clean presentation. And next page we have is vellum, which I was really shocked to see this. So what vellum is this cloudy kind of see-through paper. It's thicker than tracing paper. It became very popular to ink on. So it's a cool, nice little touch that you don't see that often because it is not cheap. Then signature, Poison Elves, book 1. So we then open up to all the legal, and I love, this is one of my favorite things with books. Whether it's indie, even like the big two, I love seeing the whole created, written, and illustrated by. One of my favorite things. Then got some creative director, publishing, more legal. This, I won't lie, I'm a little disappointed by. No table of contents, not a lot of extras. And even here, it's like, give me a little bit of art. So this is kind of giving you a historical overview of the world of Poison Elves. So this started off as a Dungeons and Dragons campaign from Drew Hayes that he made into a comic. So this is kind of all the backstory and history of this world. If you love fantasy, you know, this is kind of I would recommend reading this stuff. It doesn't spoil anything. It just gives you like a flavor of what everything is. And like I stated, you know, if Lord of the Rings, this feels like this is fantasy made. I don't know. Sorry, I've done so many takes. This feels like fantasy made like for the generation after the generation who went to war. So this, you know, it's like the great battle is won. We're now dealing with the aftermath. And this kind of paints like what it was before we get into the story. So also nice black ribbon. I won't lie, this black and white touch with this book is some great stuff. So I do recommend it. And then a quick little insert. Like, I think it's literally like 4 or 5 pages. Yeah, it's a couple pages. I won't lie though. This reads real quickly. I know it's like, it's prose. But there's a little bit of prose in here. Highly recommend it. So then we start off with the good old-fashioned comics. And like I said, when this is a dude with a pen, like some basic tools, that's what it feels like. Especially like, oh my gosh, this takes me back. I didn't draw this, but I remember doing lines similar to this, and it's just so much fun to see. And especially copyright 91, Drew Hayes. But man, this is like I said, this is a dude with some tools. And stuff like this, like I swear everyone's required to draw a page like this. This is like one of the first pages you do in your 10,000 page, 10,000 steps. And especially, it's some great storytelling. And you kind of learn, like, I guess what's interesting to me, like I learned real quickly, it's like, yeah, you would spend all this time on textures and stuff, but it's like, does it read well? And you kind of move forward. And I won't lie, one thing that's a little hard with Poison Elves at times, it can be pretty dialogue heavy. That said, the further it goes, like the better this craft gets. So like I said, this is not where it ends. So the first 2 ones are a little rough. We meet our character Lucifer, or Luce, and like I said, he was created from a D&D character. So you get like an introduction with him, but it doesn't feel like, you kind of feel like you get plopped in the middle of the story. And this is definitely made by a 20-something-year-old in all the best way. Like, it has a raw energy. It's very, how to put it? Like, it's not refined, but at the same time, like this is like a clever way of doing dialogue between two characters, and it reads well. So he gets captured, things don't go his way, and then we get into issue 2. And I'm not going to go through like every one of these. So like I said, you can kind of tell, and I don't even know how long it took to take these, but it's like you got some great panel layouts. And like I said, this is a guy, he's doing it himself. And I'm skipping through here so because I don't want to give away everything, don't want to show everything. So kind of meet the first big bad, and then skip ahead, the end. Then we get into this one. The first two ones I was kind of but this is the one that really got me. That kind of got me went, okay, I'm glad we're in this now. And like I said, sometimes the storytelling's a little rough. It's a little hard to see everything. And this is still amateurish. But what's nice about this is the characters, the energy, and the heart. Like, this has more heart per line, like per page, than a lot of comics. And like I said, it's just this weird, it's such a weird story. And especially this moment right here, like this little bit of acting was such a nice touch. So basically, he gets wounded, and it's kind of a pseudo-misery kind of a plot here. And I definitely got to skip ahead a bit, because this book's definitely made for adults, for a mature audience, so I recommend that highly. Then we get into issue 4, and 92, I'll actually got some new letters. And it's clear to tell this guy was a huge fan of Dave Sims, just from the layouts, the style. And we get this, like, oh man, this too. Like, especially, I just want to take a second here. So we still get these long, not as bad as like issue 1 and stuff, but these are very new creator, I would say. This is a common thing. Like, I did this, everyone did this. But this storytelling on this page is so brilliant, because it's like you have the crowd here, goes into here, goes here, down to here, down to here, back up to here, down to here, and then goes up to here. So it's like this it's a crazy page layout. And I'm not going to lie, the lettering on here to here, oh, that is like, I wish I did that. It's like this was on the table. It's like, oh. So that's what I'm talking about with this book. Yeah, it's like, it's not clean. It's very gritty and like in its mark making, but man, it's got some brilliance here that I cannot recommend highly enough. So we got these characters just out on the bar, literally just drinking. And this is like, I mean, this is some of the craziness you get. Like, we're here making a monument, you cheesy bastards. I'm gonna leave. Sob, you man, that's beautiful. Like, it's just dumb, like 20-year-olds drinking at a bar. And that's what this issue is. This is also, I swear this is an homage to Cerebus and the Roach. You got this character, this Noir, and it's just goofy fun. Especially, this feels like two different characters. Like, they shouldn't be in the same book, but somehow it works. So they fight, things happen, move on to the next issue. And here's the cover. Cleaned it up, but here's the cover issue. And like I said, you get these great like next issues and these great splash pages that kind of tell you the issues. So moving on ahead, like I said, I'm going to start going a little bit faster. I will stop at some of my favorite ones. But we got a little bit of his past. We're starting to see some zipatones. Starting to see some like a little bit more clear storytelling, I would say. And that's what's really fun about this. Issue 1, very harsh, like kind of hard, I don't want to say hard to read, but there are times like it's not the easiest to read. But as it goes on, you start to see like some clearer, better storytelling, and it just gets a little bit more, it just gets better by every page, which is a rarity, with comics. It's fun to see that. especially like some of his acting and characters are just oh, and yeah, like I said, the paneling. Oh, I love what he does. Because this is such a great moment. Like, you don't need to read all this dialogue to know what's going on. And this was a crazy, fun... Now, a lot of these first issues, they tie in together, but there's not an overarching story. So it's like, what happens like in this issue will go into the next issue. You know, there will be like some point that goes into the next issue. Then this one... also one, especially, man, this background using the negative as the forest, like, oh, the Wicked Man. This character is so 90s. It's so hard. You want to talk about everything at once. Anyway, so the next one, he's in the woods. He meets this guy who basically makes a deal with him where he's like, this guy eats dreams. Luce doesn't know that. So he's like, I believe it's like he gets one wish. It's like, cool, I'll agree to tie you up. Ties him up. He then dreams what he wants to be in the world. And it's him being the ruler of everything. But within this, all of a sudden, things start to go awry because, you know, monkey's paw, be careful what you wish for, yada yada. And we get into his past, which, like I said, this is not a comic for kids, and it gets brutal. Then we get this guy. This guy is such a weird character. Paul and Cheat, like, he's... How do you describe this? He's in... So, most of the story takes place out in the real world. This guy takes place inside his head. And this guy is so... Oh, wait a minute. I want to get to that. But this guy is so 90s with his design of the jester hat. Like, I don't know, man. It just feels like... Especially this feels like such the time. Because that, like... evil clown jester kind of look was everywhere. Like, I made a character based off of this. So yeah, it was very 90s. This is one I almost wish they used this as the back panel, because it's like you just start to see some great paneling and design layout. And yeah, this was a fun one. The doppelganger. Oof. Like, this is one I definitely got to skip ahead, but man, there's some fun moments in this. Now I will say too, he does draw women a certain way. Like I said, this is made by a 20-year-old guy. Not everything has been like aged perfectly. But I will say this about his characters. They all look a certain way, but they're actually deep and enriched characters. They're not just like eye candy. They get in there. So I do recommend this. But the doppelganger was this felt like a fun classic, like just fantasy kind of attack. Also this layout, which when you read it, because what it is it's a guy's shadow and just like the boom, 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 like... Oh. And he has a little, like I said, since it's a create your own, he has a little bit of fun. And yeah, same thing here. Just some great acting with this character, like, smoking and talking, well, to a corpse. And you start to get, like, some fun, like, you know, stories about this world, like these two characters, these Siamese twins. You start to get a little bit more and more elves. Like, there's some more characters as you go on with this. And like I said, this is just great independent. I mean, it's a dude by himself drawing, but it's him having fun. Now, like I said, you kind of get used to where it's like, and like I said, it's a 20-year-old. Yeah, take it with a grain of salt. Like I said, since there's no covers in here, you kind of have to figure out, like, you kind of start to get a sense, like, okay, here's where the issue stops. And especially because, like, at the very beginning, it's not like a clear cut, like, here's 20 pages. I didn't even count, because I think some of them are, like, 16, some of them are random. But yeah, it goes into some great, crazy, gnarly places with this. And especially, like, talking about his past, like, oof. And then, Henna. Oh, we get to meet his ex-wife. Oh, that's the other thing. So with this, I thought this was clever, and I wish more things did this. So elves live longer than humans, but the way it works is for every 1 elf year, it's 17 human years. So he's 1920, if memory serves right, in elf years. So he's quite a bit older. But it was like, that was a nice little touch where it's like, hey, we got to know, like, how old this character was. The interactions with him and his ex-wife are hilarious. I'm thinking like we're going to get a little bit more, but this is where like the series really starts to take off, and you start to get like, you get some stuff from the past, you get some like, but it's starting to get exciting. It's starting to get, and this like, man, this layout here, this is one of these moments where I'm like, this is not something like most professionals would do, but this is why it's fun to see, like, this is why it's cool to go into like some of these underground comics, because it's like, who comes up with this character? Like, that is just some great storytelling, slowly zooming in on both of them. Oh, like, that is one of those moments I was just like, oh my gosh. And even we start to get some of this, and I swear you got this from Dave Sims, but man, this is such a great design. And what's funny is, when I first was flipping through this, I was like, oh, prose. This actually works well, because it's quick and easy to read, unlike prose, because it's two characters having a dialogue. And it's like, it actually adds to this image. So I believe, and that's the, like we're starting to get into like the Taylor half. And man, I could go on, like, it's hard. I want you all to experience this, and I don't want to spoil it. But there's so many great moments, especially like this page right here, literally had me laughing out loud. Like, I don't want to spend too much time on it. I want you all to enjoy it. Now, this was brilliant. This, I'm not going to spoil it. I really want to spoil it. This, okay, so me and my art friends, we talk about there's things on the table. And when you talk about things on the table, it's like, that was an idea anyone could go for, but, you know, someone else went for. I am upset I didn't think about this, because this is such a great, like, rule with fantasy and characters, and I'm like, this sets up a lot of great conflicts. And you get the next couple issues are just off the rails, like just moving fast. And this one's just a straight up fight. Just two characters using swords, weapons, whatever they got, bloody. It's our man Lucifer, or Luce, going after this general. And like I said, it gets down and dirty. So we then get into this, which is a little bit of prose. I swear this, like, it feels like he's experimenting, but I think also trying to, like, catch up. But you get some amazing illustrations, and I won't lie, like, at first I was kind of like, I don't know about this. But then this became another one of these moments where I would love to see this animated. I doubt it ever will be. This is one of the best, like, moments in this series, and especially, he uses some great storytelling to this, and I cannot recommend it highly enough. Then we get into, so we're getting near, I believe this is like issue 18. We're getting kind of near the end of this. And kind of skipping ahead, a little more of our lovely guy. And like I said, this is just this is a 20-year-old, like, goofing around, having fun. And I miss the energy of useful 20. Like, you know, it's something about, like, listening to rap music made by, like, a teenager or 20-year-old compared to, like, someone who's 40 and 50. There's a certain energy that you can't match, and, like, it's hard to like, continue. So it's fun reading this, and especially, like I said, going from, let me see if I can find, like, a clear, okay, this is the other fun thing. Like, you know, a publisher will be like, no, you can't do this. You know, a guy doing this himself, he's going to throw in a little bit of, hey, there's Cutter from ElfQuest. But let me find, you know, it's like we're going from these, I know which one. Sorry, I sound random. Okay. Yeah, this one right here, like, this is some great storytelling. Like, this character's about to, like, pass out and fall asleep. But it's like, we go from, you know, looking back at the original, like, back here, you start off with some very loose drawings to this luscious, like, a full-fledged professional knowing what he's doing. Like, I cannot recommend this highly enough. And here's the other fun thing. So we get into this, and I'm going to really skip these, but these are, like, callbacks to characters who we've got to meet. And I'm skipping I should be skipping more of this, but man, this, like, that is, honestly, I might steal this, because this is such a great design, like, a great idea, showing, like, a big image and just, like, a little bit of these characters, especially because, you know, we as a reader, maybe it's been a couple days, but like if you were picking these up, this could have been years in between. So some great, and like I said, gnarly illustrations. Like this is some just uncut, like just fun, like underground fun comics. Yeah. And you get this story. This is like a classic Conan, saving the girl, big monster. This one, though, this feels like it's going to set up for a lot of future events. Like I said, don't want to spoil anything. Then we get to the last issue. And I won't lie, like, well, let me say it this way. Sorry, this is kind of more stream of thought. You got these extras here, and it's fun to see. This, though, this kills me. So this illustration, amazing. This illustration, amazing. This, what are we doing here? You know, and I wish they had, like, some interviews talking about, you know, Drew, giving me a little bit more back content. Because I didn't know, like, this was all the self-published work. I had to do a little bit of my own research. And at the very end, a vellum with a little different design on this. Now, here's the thing, though. When I got to the end of this book, I was upset. And I was upset for one reason. I wanted to read more. And I think it's going to be at least another year before I get to read more. Like, Lucifer is not a good guy. But the moral situations he's put into, he's clearly, like, better than his surroundings. And like I said, it can be male fantasy, you know, hero kind of thing. But this also has a lot of great characters. It shows a lot of great heart. And man, like, I don't know, y'all. This is just a story I love. And I'm so excited for. So this is a book I highly recommend picking up. So I keep talking about it's Kickstarter, yada yada. They're going to do a volume 2. And they said they're going to do a additional printing as a volume 1. And like I said, I cannot wait for this. This was just some great classic comics. And especially, I mean, you know, people are always like, I wish I could do a comic. This shows you anyone can do a comic. I mean, look how rough this is. This is rough. Like, anyone can do a comic. All it takes is lines and time. And it's, like I said, with this series, I cannot recommend it enough. It's a lot of fun. I'm kind of rambling here, but man, please. Oh, okay, who is this for? If you love fantasy, but you're kind of tired of the, you know, the classic group, tired of that, this is for you. If you miss like the 90s or love that aesthetics, this is for you. And this isn't image 90s. This is like the real, like, if you like 90s movies and stuff, this is for you. If you love gritty, you know, people are like, oh, I love Berserk. What's something? This feels as gritty as Berserk, like maybe not as mature, like as serious. You know what? Maybe not as serious. I should put it that way. Like it's still goofy, you know. It has its fun. So yeah, this is a fantasy series I cannot recommend highly enough. I cannot wait for book 2. I think like in total there's going to be like 5 or 6 of these volumes. So I'm hoping like we get a little bit more extras behind the scenes. But man, y'all, I'm spending my time to make this just because I love this so much. I want this to do well. So please, please do yourselves a favor. Keep an eye out for Poison Elves by Drew Hayes. And unfortunately, like I said, he passed before he could finish this, but I'm grateful for the work we got. So thank you all. Hope you have a good one. Please read this.